So next year we did a duplex. And we got that kind of see the proof of concept. Okay, we got a couple renters. They're paying all the expenses. They're paying off the mortgage. And there's a little bit left over each month. This is investing. This is cool. But I knew I wanted to go bigger. I knew I wanted to scale.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Lee Yoder, who's been making serious moves as the founder and visionary behind Threefold Real Estate Investing, focusing on syndication of apartment buildings. So excited to have you on the show today, Lee.
Yeah, excited to be here, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I think that our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching the Midwest market and growing your portfolio. So let's dive in.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, first off, for those who are not familiar with you and your world, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah, our main focus is buying, around 100 units and up apartment buildings. I live just north of Cincinnati, and really kind of a 3.5 hour radius around Cincinnati is where we're interested in buying these apartment buildings. They're generally, workforce housing, C class, however you want to think about that space. And we're usually trying to improve them and kind of raise rent and control expenses as much as we can and make them worth more, because we syndicate these, which means we bring in investors to buy these with us. It's not just me buying them, and it's not just me and a couple partners. It's me and 30, 40, 50 investors. And they're passive. They don't do any of the work. They just invest their dollars. And me and my team, we go and find the deals and put them together and then operate them for 5 to 10 years. And so that's what our focus is.
Awesome. How did you get into this world?
Yeah, great question. Slowly at first, and then step by step, I just kept, what I'd say kind of like kept taking the next step. So I was a physical therapist and, was enjoying that pretty well, but then got in with a company who brought me in the office. I was a clinical director. Then I was kind of moving toward a director of operations role. And this was a startup company. So I was doing a lot of different things and, really kind of had an entrepreneurial feel to it. And I just loved that. So I felt like I was really starting to get to know like what I felt like God made me to do. And it wasn't really being a physical therapist. It was more like helping to build something. And so I just knew, man, I want to do more of this. And so when I decided I wasn't going to stay at that corporate job anymore, I thought, well, man, I really don't want to go back to just being a physical therapist. I want to like build something. And so I started looking around for what I thought that might be. My dad's in construction. I had a good buddy from church that was in real estate full time. So I just kind of started looking into the real estate space, and the more I learned about it, the more I thought that might be for me. So I decided to go back to being a home health physical therapist, where I had a lot of flexibility, could kind of make my own schedule, and then start a real estate side hustle. And so that was in 2017, then I got started in real estate. We flipped a house that year and that went pretty well. But we said, well, this isn't really investing. This is just trading time for money in real estate.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So next year we did a duplex and we got that kind of see the proof of concept. Okay, we got a couple renters. They're paying all the expenses. They're paying off the mortgage and there's a little bit left over each month. This is investing. This is cool. But I knew I wanted to go bigger. I knew I wanted to scale. So then we got a 16 unit the next year. Right after that, we got an 8 unit and a 10 unit. We partnered with a property management company because I just felt like I have no idea what I'm doing with property management. We managed that duplex ourselves, didn't really like it. So partnered with a property management company. They managed those properties for us. Those did pretty well. We bought those in 2019. By 2020, after the COVID stimulus boom kicked in, by the end of 2020, they were worth a lot more than we bought them for. I was just dying to go full-time into real estate. So I quit my W-2, my job as a physical therapist at the end of 2020, sold that whole portfolio. So went from 34 units to 0 units, but took all the profits and put it in my savings account and said, okay, we can live off this for a few years if we have to. Let me go try to do this full-time, see what we can do. So we just had 1 or 2 partners on each of those early deals. And so rolling into 2021, we said, okay, we're going to syndicate, meaning we're going to bring in more investors and buy bigger deals. And so that's what we started doing in 2021. We started with the 45 unit, raised $550,000 from 7 investors. And we just kept doing that, kept doing it. I fell in love with it, loved doing it. Eventually we built our own property management company so we can manage our own properties. And then we just closed a 415 unit earlier this year and raised $8.25 million for that. So we've just kind of grown, just keep taking the next step. And we'll close one in January, 180 units, and we'll have 930 units at that point. So yeah, well, that's a long story short, kind of short, of how we've, progressed.
Yeah, amazing. So cool that you were able to grow at that scale.
Mhm.
What do you feel were some of like the main keys that have made the difference in allowing your business to be able to grow and scale and run smoothly?
Yeah, I think early on it was finding good partners. I mean, I had a mentor early on that helped me get into that first multifamily property. He had done a couple before. So anytime you can find somebody that's done what you want to do and you feel like they did it in the right way and they did it in the way that you want to do it, if you can, just get a little help from that person. I mean, he didn't give me a ton, but he gave me a little bit. And I would just kind of send some stuff to him. Hey, what do you think about that? And he's like, yeah, it looks good to me. And so I'd go and take the next step. So I wasn't really asking him for much, but he was just kind of looking in, giving me some confidence. So that was a big boost. And then those first ones partnering with a property management company. I mean, we bought a 16 unit. It just seemed overwhelming to my wife and I. And we thought, there's no way we can manage this. How are we going to do this? When we take over this property, what are we going to do? Well, when you go partner with a property management company, it's their team that's going to do that. And for them, they were managing over 1,000 units at the time. So to manage a 16 unit was no big deal at all to them. Whereas for us, it was such a big deal. So once we were like, well, they're the ones that are going to do it, then it just seemed, not so overwhelming. So that was a big key. And then, I continued having, partners for different things. But just seeking the advice of people that had done what I wanted to do. That was a huge part of our growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Mentorship and having that support is so important.
Yeah.
So, what are you most focusing on now when it comes to solving or scaling to the next thing?
Yeah, right now it's building out our internal team and maybe what I'd call like our C-suite team. So like just some kind of upper level folks that are, we're bringing in to help us. So I think we've built a pretty good company. It's still a very small company. And I think we're now past like startup phase, but not a whole lot. So we still have a lot of like just becoming more professional, becoming more skilled at what we do.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So we're bringing in some high level people that have more experience and more skills than I do in certain areas to really improve our company. So we brought in a controller recently that has an accounting background because nobody at our company right now has an accounting degree and a serious accounting background. So he's bringing a lot of experience, um, a lot of skills, knowledge, expertise that nobody in our company has. So that's awesome. Now we're looking to bring in somebody that's got a lot of operational experience and skills and just management experience and skills. And I have some of that, but not a lot, and that's not where my passion is or my like unique skill set is. So I'm really excited to bring him in to get even better at putting processes and procedures in place. If we're going to scale to the next level, you don't want to just be pushing ahead and like, okay, we'll figure it out as we go. I mean, that's kind of what we've been doing for a while to some degree. And so I'm excited to bring it in and become, just more organized, more efficient, more effective, things streamlined, better processes, procedures, and across the company. And then I think we'll be ready to really grow to the next level and then the next level and, keep going.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, why specifically do you invest in like the multifamily part
Yeah.
of real estate? Yeah.
Yeah. When I was starting out, start out with the flip, but the year before that, even I was listening to a ton of podcasts, reading a ton of books, um, or listening to books, while I'm driving and whatnot. And I just felt like the guys and girls that I heard on the podcast that were doing multifamily just made a lot of sense to me. I felt like I identified with what they were, with like their strategy. But then, at its core, like multifamily just really makes sense to me. I really buy into the fact that people need a place to live. They don't necessarily need an extra storage unit. Now, I don't mean to knock self storage. I think it's legit. I mean, people are doing really well with it, but it just doesn't make as much sense to me. I mean, Airbnb doesn't make as much sense to me just because you don't have to vacation. So I just feel like multifamily is really recession resistant. It can do well in all cycles because people always need a place to live. Now, they don't have to pay 1,500 for a place to live. They could pay 1,000. So just because people need have a place to live doesn't mean you can always raise rent. Also, people can live together. So that can really hurt. So just because people need a place to live doesn't mean they have to have their own apartment unit. People can live in their parents' basement. So it's not like it doesn't get hurt during recession, but I think it does really well. So I just really believe in housing. Also, there's other factors like you've got Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two pseudo government agencies that are always providing, financing, providing debt for multifamily, which is really a benefit. And even, in really bad times, I mean, government's going to help people pay for their rent. You got Section 8, you got other subsidized programs that are going to help people pay for the rent. So there's just a lot of things about it because I like real estate in general. So I mean, I like industrial. I like self storage. I like mobile home parks are very similar. Multifamily, office. Like I love the idea of owning real estate, but to me, multifamily just seemed the most recession resistant.
Yeah, definitely. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. So, what advice do you have maybe for someone that's earlier on in their journey and maybe they're looking to start into investing in multifamily? Is there anything you wish you knew in hindsight?
Yeah, I think yeah, I only have my own experience, so there might be better ways to do it. But going back, think I did it the right way in some ways, and then there's some things I wish I would have done differently. But I do think, I was listening to a lot. I was really educating myself. I probably would have gone to like some of the meetups earlier on to be with people in person. So I was doing a good job of reading books and listening to podcasts and gaining that knowledge.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But man, if you get, in front of some people that are doing it, and especially people that are doing it in your area, that's what's so great about local meetups is you're, meeting people that are doing it, but they're doing it in your area. So it's very relevant information that you're getting from them and very relevant skills and experience that they have. So I would have done that earlier. So I would encourage people to do that. But at some point you just got to jump in and get started. So I would just think like, what's low risk? I mean, to me, buying a single family home or buying a duplex is kind of lower risk. I mean, if you are young and you want to get started, don't have a family and you don't mind moving them into a duplex or a quad, I think that's an awesome way to get started. Buy a 3-unit, 4-unit building, live in one of the units, manage the others. But I just think, if you're like, man, I want to buy apartments someday. Well, you can't start there and you can't start anywhere close to there, honestly. Like you got to start at the beginning, in my opinion. Like, so just go buy something small, buy a condo, buy a single family home, buy a duplex, buy a quad, do something small like that and cut your teeth there, learn from it. I mean, for us, I told my wife, I said, well, we can buy this single family home and flip it. Even if we can't sell it and we can't rent it, we can afford the mortgage on this. So worst case scenario is we're paying for 2 mortgages and that's not so bad. You're paying off 2 properties, right? So, that was our worst case scenario. So I would tell people to think of it that way. Like, what's the worst case scenario? And then like, are you okay with that worst case scenario? If you are, then like jump in, and sometimes I think people overdo the worst case scenario. I think, oh, worst case scenario is like, I'm going to lose my house and my family and I are going to have to move in with the in-laws or something. Well, is that really the worst case? I mean, again, in our situation, we could afford both mortgages. So, okay, that's worst case scenario, not losing our house, So, that's one thing I do. And I'll just say one other thing really quick. The reason my wife and I were able to make some of the moves we were is because we were really frugal and we saved up a lot of money and we weren't living off of all of our income. So I took a big pay cut when I went back to home health physical therapy. And I did that because I wanted to get into real estate. So a lot of people can't take a big pay cut because they spend all of the money that they make. So that was the first important step that my wife and I did. And we did that for years. Actually, we probably did that for 8 or 10 years where we lived well below our means. So it allowed us to save money, allowed us to buy a house and put 20% down. So it allowed us to have a lot of equity in our home. It allowed us to take a risk. It allowed me to leave a job and take a 30% pay cut. So a lot of the moves we made is because we were in a good position financially. And, a lot of people really struggle to do that. I think I would really work hard to do that first and then try to jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing your personal experience and story on how that worked for you.
Mhm.
So, what are some goals you have for what's next in the next phase of where you want to head to?
Yeah, it's hard to look like too far ahead, but bringing these new people into our team, I think it's really going to set us up. And I would, we're almost 1,000 units. I would like to double that in the next couple years. Would be my goal. I think that well, I think we're ready for that, and I think that allows us to just that scale will allow us to like build an even better team and to develop better processes and procedures and to be just better across the board to build a better property management company. And I think just having more units allows us the resources to do that. And then we're better for all of our properties because we have more properties. So that's really my goal over the next couple of years is to get this really solid team in place and then double our portfolio.
Yeah, amazing. So you mentioned that there are other investors supporting you that are more passive. Can you
Mhm.
expand on what those roles look like?
Yeah, sure. So I've got a team, and we are the asset managers, and we find the property. Um, we put the deal together, meaning like I got to go win that property. I got to be the winning bid, and then I've got to find a lender to bring us financing. I bring attorneys in to write up all the contracts and all that stuff. I mean, we do all this work, and then there's a group of people, and it's in the hundreds of people that are interested in investing with us, and so we send them monthly emails. We kind of keep them up to date. We educate them on multifamily, tell them about what we're doing, and they get really interested, and they develop a relationship with me, and they get interested in investing with us. And so once we identify property, and then we underwrite it, and we go do inspections and all the due diligence, we decide we for sure want to buy it. Well, then we present that to these people who have said that they're interested in investing with us and have gotten to know us and know what kind of deals we do and know what it might look like. And so we present this opportunity to them. We say, hey, here's, we've been telling you this is what we do. We've been telling you, we're going to have another one like this, and you've said that you're interested. Well, here it is. This is our next property that we're going to buy, and this is what we think it's going to do, and this is what we think the returns are going to look like. And do you want to invest in this specific deal? So then, if they want to do that, then they basically just transfer their money over to an account we've set up just for this property, and with all that money, then we go buy this property, and then with what's left over, that money, we've made sure there's going to be a good amount left over, then we'll put that in the property and improve it, and that's what allows that property be worth even more. And so when it's worth a lot more, well, then all those investors and us, because those investors are part owners of the property through an LLC that we create, we all benefit from the cash flow every year, and then also that property being worth a lot more in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, so cool how you're able to bring in people and, yeah, support their business and yours and make it on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Is there any like criteria for the people that invest with you or just any investors that are, looking to join in?
Yeah, we take accredited and non-accredited investors. So to be an accredited investor, you have to have $1 million net worth, not including your personal residence, or you as an individual have to make $200,000 a year, or you and your spouse make $300,000 a year. So we don't have that requirement. You don't have to be an accredited investor. You can be an unaccredited investor, which is really anybody. We do have some questions when they're filling out documents, like just do you have some knowledge about investing, and do you think you have the knowledge necessary to make this decision? You can also, bring it to your CPA or your wealth advisor, and have them look at it and everything. So there's no requirements other than you have to have a pre-existing relationship with me, because the type of syndication that we do, a 506B syndication, you have to have a pre-existing relationship, because we don't advertise our deals to the open public. We only advertise them to people that have a relationship with us. So that's really it. You got to have, just some general investing real estate knowledge, which most people do. Like if you own your home, that probably gives you enough knowledge. I mean, that's your own decision to kind of decide if you have the knowledge, and then you have to have a relationship with me. And if you have those two things, then you can check out our deal and invest with us.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah. Oh, I guess one other thing, Michelle, we do have a $50,000 investment minimum. So I should say that you have to have, $50,000 that you feel like you can part with and that you don't need because for the next, 5 to 10 years, because these are illiquid investments. So that would be one other thing to think about.
Yeah. Awesome. So before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people reach out and connect with you?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so you can look for Lee Yoder on LinkedIn. But I'd love for people to jump on our website. That's our company, threefoldrei.com. That's three spelled out THREEFOLD, as in fold a piece of paper, REI, as in realestateinvesting.com. So jump on our website. We've got some free stuff there, a lot of information. And then you can contact us and connect with us right through the website.
Awesome. Well, appreciate your time and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Lee who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.